Stims are a very important but frequently overlooked part of Escape from Tarkov. If you're brand new to the game, stims are injectors that adjust your skills, cause or fix in-game effects, or alter some game mechanics for your character, both positively and negatively. Hello everyone, this is cztl, and today we're going to be creating a stim tier list, as well as going over each of the effects. These rankings are subjective and they're based off my personal experience and how I play, so feel free to post any disagreements that you have in the comments below. I also want to let you know that stims that change your skill points can make them fluctuate between 0 and 60. Max skill is 51, but you can only get that perk if you are in fact max skill. Bringing it above 51 to 60 gets you all the other perks, but up to level 60. For instance, this stim makes me jump higher, run further, and faster, even though I was max skill before. If you're not familiar with this ranking system, this is a tier list. S to F, S being the best and F being the worst. There are currently 16 stims in total. So let's start off with Propital. Propital removes pain for 240 seconds, removes contusions for 240 seconds. It restores 1 health per second for 300 seconds, adds 20 metabolism skill points for 300 seconds, adds 20 health skill points for 300 seconds, adds 20 vitality skill points for 300 seconds, and then gives you a hand tremor for 30 seconds after 270 seconds, along with the tunneling effect. If you're not familiar with the negative effects, this is pain and hand tremor, this is a contusion, and this is tunnel vision. With all these negative effects removed and only having negative effects for 30 seconds, S tier. Next we have the SJ1. This stim boosts strength, endurance, and stress resistance by 20 for 180 seconds or 3 minutes. It has an energy recovery penalty and hydration recovery penalty for 200 seconds of 0.2 and 0.3 per second respectively. Assuming you don't die, that's a penalty of 40 energy and 60 hydration. That's a lot. I'm going to rank SJ1 a C. They don't do much, but you do need them to craft SJ6s. Speaking of which, the SJ6 is next. It increases max stamina, which is the amount of points in the stamina bar, by 30 for 240 seconds, and it increases stamina recovery for 240 seconds by +2. I don't know what those values are at max level, but it does make you run faster. It also creates a hand tremor and tunnel effect for 40 seconds. These used to help you increase your strength and endurance quicker if you took them at the start of the raid, but that is not the case right now. I don't know if that will be fixed in the future, but as of right now, because they cost a lot and they don't really do much, I'm giving it a C. Next we have the Zagustin. It stops heavy bleeds, light bleeds, improves your vitality skill by 20 for 180 seconds, gives you -5 metabolism for 180 seconds, stops and prevents bleedings for 180 seconds, gives you a hand tremor for 40 seconds, and removes 1.4 from your hydration recovery for 40 seconds. This one's tough because it has a lot of utility, but it does remove just under 60 hydration, which is tough if you don't have max metabolism. So I'm giving this one a B. Next we have the etg-c. It removes contusion. It restores 6.5 health per second for 60 seconds. It restores energy by 0.5 per second for 60 seconds. Improves metabolism by 20 for 90 seconds. It improves immunity by 20 for 90 seconds. Removes 3 energy recovery for 20 seconds. Removes 5 endurance for 60 seconds. And removes 5 health for 60 seconds. This stim is phenomenal. Just when you think you're out of a fight or about to be killed, you pop this thing and you start regenerating health as quick as you can. Boom, S tier. Next up, Adrenaline. It removes pain and contusion for 60 seconds, gives you a boost to endurance, strength, and recoil control by +10 for 60 seconds, removes 10 stress resistance for 60 seconds, gives you some health regeneration, 60 over 15 seconds, and gives you a little bit of penalty to energy and hydration over 30 seconds. This is surprisingly good in a quick fight because it gives you strength, endurance, and recoil control for 60 seconds. So it's short, but it's good for quick fights. B. Next up we have the 3BTG. I did a quick video on this, so check that out in the top right hand corner. The most underrated stim in the game in my book gets an A. With a positive duration effect of 2 minutes, it removes pain, it increases endurance by 10, increases strength by 20, increases max stamina by 30. We have the L1 Norepinephrine Injector. It also decreases hydration recovery and energy recovery slightly for 60 seconds. This one was tough. I do think it's underrated and I struggle between a C and a D, but I ended up going with a D because it doesn't have much value when you sell it, and I don't really find that much use to it unless I'm rushing or slower. I would personally purchase this over the SJ6 or SJ1 though. It's dirt cheap compared to them, and it also removes pain. Starting off the second row, we have the P22. For 60 seconds, it reduces the damage taken by 10%, increases stress resistance by 30, increases health by 30, increases vitality by 30, reducing endurance by 10, and reducing stamina recovery by 0.8. This basically makes you a juggernaut for about 60 seconds. Initially I gave this one a D because it was only for 60 seconds, but then I later changed it because if you use this correctly, it is a great stim, and it's comparable to Meldonin. Next, we have Meladonin, which removes 10% of the damage taken except for the head. It increases strength by 10, increases endurance by 20, increases stamina recovery by 0.5, while removing 0.1 hydration recovery and 0.1 energy recovery, all for 900 seconds, which is a very long time. I did a brief test with AKBS ammo to see how this affects overflow damage to a blacked out limb. When shooting a blacked out leg, it was consistently doing that much damage, meaning if you shoot someone in the leg, the Meladonin appears to protect that and deal 10% less overflow damage to the rest of the body. I didn't see any excess overflow damage hitting the head like I thought I might. With 58 flesh damage, AKPS will deal between 52 and 53 damage, so this stim works as advertised. And while it will deplete nearly all of your hydration and energy over the course of 15 minutes, which is how long this stim affects you for, it could prevent that last bullet from killing you. So, A tier. Next up, the AHF1M stim. This increases your health by 5 for 60 seconds and prevents bleedings. You'll lose about 36 hydration, but this is just a crappy Zagustin. E tier. Next, the MULE. It increases your carrying capacity by 50%, deals you 6 damage per minute, and it increases the damage you take by 9%. This stim is extremely expensive and it's not for everyone, so I'm gonna put this in the F tier. Just kidding. This goes in the A tier. It's very helpful for getting out a lot of extra loot. Next is Obdolbos Cocktail. And man, look at what this thing can do. There are a lot of negative effects here, a lot of them with a 25% chance. There's not much it really does that's good for you. You're kind of just playing Russian roulette when you take it. I'd like to see someone, as soon as they get the flea market, do every single raid using this thing. F. The etg-c is next. It has the antidote for the toxin on the cultist knives. It lasts 60 seconds while giving a slight decrease to health. I personally like Augmentin for this purpose better, because you can use it for crafts and it also removes pain without as much of a side effect. So etg-c, you get a D. Next up, we have the SJ9. It is a very pricey stim. This one's interesting. It drops your body temperature by 7 degrees for 300 seconds, decreases your metabolism by 20, gives you negative health regeneration by 0.1 per second, makes your hands tremor for 420 seconds, and gives you pain for 120 seconds. In case you didn't know, you use this to not show up as well in thermal scopes. Let's see how it looks. This is a view with the REAP-IR without the SJ9. It's a white speck in the background. And this is me looking at the same target with the REAP-IR, and the target has the SJ9 effect now. This is the flare from a different angle slightly, and the target has the SJ9, both zoomed in and zoomed out. And this is the target at the same angle without the effect. Yeah, so it does do something, but it's not as powerful as you would have think. Because of its price, side effects, and lack of effectiveness, this gets a D. And finally, we have Morphine, a very overlooked painkiller, but it's pretty effective. Morphine is cheap, you can use it quickly, and it removes contusion. and it also lasts for 5 minutes, so it's a great painkiller. Let's give it a C. Alright, now, tell me what you think I got wrong. I'm willing to change my opinion if I get enough feedback in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like out of that shit button, consider subscribing for more Tarkov content in the future, and I will see you on the battlefield. cztl out.